biggest shock to me was that the exact person that I wanted to become a client became a client. Embrace who you are, be authentic. Not everyone's going to like you, not everyone's going to like what you do. I still think that there's landlords, there's developers, there's buy-to-let investors that have so much more to learn because criteria changes daily. A lot of people do say to me, how do you know so many people and you've only been in the industry a couple of years? The best thing about last night was just everyone saying, this is not the type of networking event we're used to, and it's really lovely. And I was like, do you know what? That was hitting the nail on the head. That's exactly what I wanted it to be.
How you built your brand.
Yeah, okay. So
Brokers, this one is totally for you. This is 100% dedicated to you and building your brand and putting yourself out there, but also starting from scratch, from the bottom. You know, it's tough becoming a self-employed mortgage advisor, even if it's your first gig or you've come from corporate and then you wanted to set up on your own. What do they not teach you? You know, what do you not get to learn in a CMAP qualification? You get your qualification and then you're off out there on your own. So what are you supposed to be doing? How do you build your pipeline? How do you build your brand? How do you build your business? How do you stay sane? How do you stay organized? How do you stay on top of it all? How do you get to know about the lenders? I mean, I've been in the property and finance industry now for 10 years. I started in 2015 working for a commercial and bridging specialist packager. So I started out doing packaging. So I didn't have that like high street banking branch manager background. So I came right at the specialist lending deep end. I had to learn very quickly how bridging, development, commercial and second charges worked. And then I had to teach that to brokers, mostly residential brokers who were ARs of networks, and they couldn't really touch bridging or they couldn't really touch commercial because they didn't have certain lenders on their panel, they didn't have BDMs looking after them, so they had to use a packager because they didn't have those channels available to them. So they would rely on me to package it up, obviously split the fee with them, they would retain the client and so on and so forth. So that's my background into it. So I have seen the struggles of every single type of advisor you can imagine. I've been to people's houses in their spare bedroom or their back garden, all the way through to Canary Wharf, skyscraper, you know, top of the building, and everyone in between. So I've seen every single type of advisor there is. And now with my new hat on, because I'm not a BDM anymore, if for anyone who's never followed me before or new to me, by the way, I'm Rosalia Lazara. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the show. But yeah, my background is being a business development manager. So on the show today, I'm excited to bring you a specialist mortgage broker who's going to be sharing with us her journey in how she became a broker, why she became a broker, her passion for property, but also how she's built a phenomenal name for herself. You know, a great influencer in our mortgage space. She's loved by the BDMs from the lenders. She's built a phenomenal, trusted, loyal network of developers and investors. And she's just goddamn beautiful. So from head to toe, gorgeous. She could be a model. You know, maybe she's here for fashion advice because she could give it. Maybe she's here to talk about mortgages or both. Like literally this girl deserves the spotlight, deserves her story to be heard, and this is what the show's about, spotlighting women in our space. So without further ado, I am so honoured to welcome you all to my lovely friend, Zoe Meharg. How are you, Zoe?
Oh, I'm far too tired to be receiving that sort of praise.
What? Tell us why you're tired.
Oh. Yeah, thank you so much for that introduction. That was amazing. I'm tired because, one, I have a 3-year-old who, for anyone on this podcast that has children, will know how challenging that age is. And 2, because I had the launch of the Property Syndicate last evening, which I was so happy to have you there to support us and to capture all the amazing content. But yes, it was a late one. It was a late one, but a good one.
Woo, was it good? Let's start with your intro because we're going to get into all of that. Tell us who you are and what you do, but most importantly, how did you become a broker? Where did that come from?
Yeah, okay. So I am a now specialist buy-to-let mortgage broker. I've really sort of honed into that sector, especially over the last year. I actually didn't come from a mortgage or banking or any sort of banking finance background. I came from an account management operations director in hospitality background initially, but I'm a builder's daughter and I've always loved property. I'm a buy-to-let investor myself, so I just kind of thought property at some point in my life was gonna be really good for me and really apparent and really fit with my lifestyle, and here we are.
Love that. I love the fact that you said that last night as well at your event that your dad's a developer and he's still developing in his 60s and he's still got that passion. Once it's in your bones, it's in your bones, isn't it? So I love that. Now, let's talk about last night's event. So at the time of recording this, it's the next morning, but by the time it comes out, it's a little bit later. So tell me, what happened last night? Tell us all what did you do?
Yeah, so I love networking. I love socializing. I'm an old soul. I think people by people, relationships come first, and that's always been where I've started with my business development. It's build a relationship, the work will come later. That's just always been my ethic. I did start out doing a networking event when I first came into the industry. It was a really local pub in Marylebone. It was your typical networking event. And because I started from scratch, I was just really hoping to build my confidence, build my experience, build my sort of sales pitch. And I did it for a couple of weeks. It was at the end of every month I did it, and it just wasn't really my bag. It was too transactional. It wasn't the relationship building that I loved. It was not people that I thought I would be making business from in the future. So I just parked it and I just thought, you know what? I am a sucker for doing things to perfection. I always have been. Gives me the worst anxiety a lot of the time. I was like, let's just park it, go to a few more events, speak to a few more people, and actually just see like what type of networking works for me. So that's what I did. I joined a few private members clubs. I've been to a load more industry events. I have spoken to loads more people and widened my network and said, actually, what do you want from a networking event? And like, how do you want to meet new people and in what environment? Because I think that's really important as well. And yeah, so the Property Syndicate started. I think last night was a bit of a reflection on what I love. It was a really lovely venue. It was a small group. It was a manageable group where I could actually bounce between people and say, right, this person does this and this person does that. And it just gave everyone the chance to actually speak to each other and build connections instead of having 2 minutes and then almost like speed dating, just moving on to the next person and hoping for that connection to rock up. And it also had education in it, which I think is really important. I've definitely busied myself over the last couple of years learning because I'm new and this has all come from a very new space. And I still think that there's landlords, there's developers, there's buy-to-let investors that have so much more to learn because criteria changes daily. We all know this in the broker world. It is too much to keep on top of. And then for them to have to keep on top of it as well, it's just too difficult. So I just wanted everyone to take away some snippets, take away some things that they could learn and actually build some meaningful connections in a really lovely, luxurious, comfortable space.
Exactly, bang on. So for those of you, just in summary, who haven't seen it online or anything like that, Zoe has launched the Property Syndicate, which is a invite-only, exclusive, intimate networking event with education. So last night we were in a members club at the other house in South Ken, and it was a beautiful space, very dark, very jazzy, crazy wallpaper, luxurious seating, fireplace, nice little fireside chat that we had. And we had, you know, expert speakers from the industry. So your sponsors being Quantum, Foundation, Propland, and then you also had Roger Morris speaking there and giving a market update, particularly about buy-to-lets in a limited company and the future of investing. So that's the kind of vibe that Zoe set up. But it wasn't all that easy, and it didn't quite feel doable to start with. You know, what were your wobbles? What were your hesitations about launching this, and what got you over the line eventually?
Oh, there were so many wobbles. Even at the start of this week, I was like, I'm going to cancel it. That's it. I'm not doing it. I had an economist drop out last minute. Oh, it's just been the worst. And you put yourself in these positions to put yourself out there because you want to be better. Like, this is all about growth, right? And you then have to somehow manage that alongside your day job, which is the most important part of our roles, is making sure our clients are getting their mortgages, is making sure everything is done. And then you're trying to run an event. And I'm like, goodness, like, how do events managers do this? Because there's the venue, there's the money, there's the bar tab. What are you going to serve? What are you going to eat? Where's it going to be? Like, who are you going to have there? And what's that flow? So it's like there's a whole new job that you've taken on. I mean, just getting it out of the notepad, as you well know, was hard enough. Like, just getting it off of the paper into an event. And like, you've had some amazing speakers on the show, and I actually saw one with Chloe earlier in the week that just said, what's like the worst that can happen when you get it out of the pad? And God, did I need to see that this week, because I was just thinking, what if no one turns up? What if it's a complete flop? My sponsors, who have invested in this, invested in me, which gives me a personal reason to give back to them. I was like, gosh, what if I fail? It's all of those things that go through your head. I mean, I don't know how you do it on a monthly basis. I think I'd lose the plot. I
maybe have lost the plot, which is why I keep going. Maybe that's why, you know, the other day I messaged my friends and they messaged me and they were like, Roz, what's High Rocks? You keep talking about High Rocks. I was like, oh, it's a fitness competition. So I sent them the link and they replied, they were like, oh, you legend. I was like, legend or nutter? I was like, I'm not really sure at this stage what to describe myself as, because you're right, it's not for the weak, like it's not for the faint-hearted, right? You really have to deliver. You want to deliver for yourself, but you want to deliver for your sponsors. You don't want to let them down. I obviously do a lot of work with sponsors, and let me tell you a real truth, Zoe, where when you ask yourself what's the worst that can happen, well, it happened to me, and here I am still surviving. So what happened? I hosted the Social Selling Hive year one for the first time, and it sold out twice within a week. So London sold out, Manchester sold out, perfect storm of like sponsors all involved, all the delegates wanted a ticket, people on the wait list for the next one. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got this. So launches went exceptionally well, photographed, it got 100% positive feedback, not just even on the talks and the agenda, but even on the food. Like, people were like, this is the best food we've had for an event like this, The venue was amazing. So yeah, I was like, I got this, like, easy. Next year, launch it again. The summer version, the London one. Not a single soul bought a ticket.
No.
Not a single soul.
See, this is when I die. This is when I couldn't do this.
I did die. I did actually die. Yeah, and then I've come back. I did die, and I did a video about... honestly, it was literally devastating. I lost my confidence. I lost some dignity, because I was like, oh my gosh, like literally I've been talking about sell out events, sell out this. I'm such a fraud. I'm such a failure. And the worst part, Zoe, I had to eject money out of my account and refund all the sponsors. Not that they asked for a refund. They didn't know this was happening behind the scenes, but I called them all, and I had to have that, real difficult conversation. But I wanted to be an adult about it. I didn't want to shy away. I didn't want to, I literally just picked up the phone and said, hey, you've put your trust in me, you've invested in me, you've put your money into something that I don't think I can deliver. And it's not going to happen. It's not happening. I'm going to pull the plug because I haven't got enough time to salvage this. And I don't want to make it a fake event by giving loads of people a free ticket just to fill up the room, because that's not how it worked last time. So I'm not going to devalue or dilute my product. Here's your money back. And they were outstanding. What's the word? Like, they were just gobsmacked. Like, they were literally like, oh my God, Roz, this is the most honourable and honest thing that we've ever experienced. I don't think anyone would have ever been that honest as you have. And now that I'm running the next one, he's sponsored again.
Oh, that's
So,
amazing.
yeah, so even though at that time I thought I was crashing and burning and I was like, oh my God, that's it, I've run out of luck, I'm out of fashion, everyone hates me, no one's coming. I've now launched it again and I have sold tickets and the sponsors are back. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
I think there's just a level of ambition in us. Like, I think you either have a need for ambition or you don't, and like that ambition level puts you under so much stress and pressure. And the way that you deal with it is obviously the way that you grow. And I think that it's really difficult to be able to hold your hands up and say, actually, this is not quite worked out for me. Yeah. I'm going to try something different next year. And if I had to do that this week, I would have probably never done it again. You're a stronger woman than me. But...
Yeah, you would, because I would be down the phone to you and I'd be saying, Zoe, get over yourself, get a grip. Yes.
But it's true, but we do want to better ourselves, and I think in every way that we do things, we want to better ourselves, and to be good for your sponsors, and to make sure you're doing the right thing. You do have to put yourself out of your comfort zone, and it's awful. But when you're there, and last night I got on that mic, and I was like, do you know what? I can do this.
You were sensational.
Which really got me, and I was like, oh no, am I going to lose it? And I saw your face, and so I was like, she's thinking, is she going to lose it? And I was like,
no, when? When?
No, as in, you could, it was like one of those moments where you're like,
oh,
is she gonna
no,
lose it,
you were sensational.
And I was like, oh God, I've just got to pull this out the bag today. It's the best thing about last night was just everyone saying, this is not the type of networking event we're used to, and it's really lovely. And I was like, do you know what? That was hitting the nail on the head. That's exactly what I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to be a networking event that everyone's used to, and I wanted everyone to enjoy themselves. And just the room, the conversation, like the feeling in the room, I was like, okay, wow, this could be something really special.
I can't wait to release the content, Zoe, because, yeah, the vibe that we cultivated last night was that, small, intimate, high level, really, really impressive people in the room, like developers like no other, investors that are next level on top of their game. We also had amazing speakers. We had bubbles and canapes and a great vibe in the room, and you really did yourself proud. And that brings me on to the next question of talk us through this journey, because there's brokers listening or lenders listening right now on how did you go from being a broker, sat at the desk, chasing inquiries or just trying to get the next lead, to stepping outside, because you stepped outside so many of your comfort zones. Like, you have literally blown up and blossomed. I don't know, it's not overnight, because I've seen the work that you've put into it. So can you talk me through that journey of how it started, what you've done to overcome those barriers, and how you've built your brand?
Yeah, okay. So I started out from a standing start. I literally had no experience in mortgages whatsoever, and I think I just went back to my hospitality roots, and I was like, well, what did I do then? I just spoke to people. I learned what they loved, I learned what they drank, I learned what they ate. I built that relationship with them, and they came back, and I was like, okay, well, that model has been around for ages and it's never broken and it always works. So I went out to BDMs and had lunch, had coffees, understood what they did, because there is so much criteria out there that you can't just learn from a online chat box or from their criteria page. And I just went out with them and I was like, right, okay, help me because I'm new. I've got no idea what I'm doing. Like, just please just give me all of your knowledge because you've been around for ages and I want everything that you've got. And I just asked questions. I just kept asking questions until they're probably really bored of me. If any BDMs are listening, I am sorry. I think I've put this on my socials recently that my 5-minute phone calls always turn into an hour. And generally it's just asking loads of questions.
Yeah, it's like my 1-minute voice note turns into a 10-minute podcast.
I'm sorry, I need you. I need your
Yeah.
knowledge. So I did that. I spent a lot of time with people in industry. A lot of people do say to me, how do you know so many people? And you've only been in the industry a couple of years. I have been to a lot of things. I've invited myself to a lot of events. I have put myself out there and just gone, do you know what? I need to know all of these people. Because the mortgage industry is full of people that have been in it a very long time. And that's great in one way because it gives you so many people to learn from. But us newbies at the other end of that it's just sort of becoming a role that's attractive for people, for younger people that want to get into finance because of the freedom and everything that comes with it. They need to learn too, and they need a model that works. And I think if you've got a mentor in your business, that's amazing. And a lot of people do have that. And I've been lucky enough to have that. But if you don't, how do you learn? Well, you've just got to go out and meet and ask questions, ask stupid questions all the time and just see where it takes you. And I think that's kind of what I've done. So in that as well, I knew that from my marketing background, marketing was going to be massive. With no lead gen, no backbook, no lead gen software. Our company doesn't believe in buying leads, which is absolutely fine. Where do you get your leads from? Like, I can only meet people in industry. They're not technically going to be my clients. So unless I'm at networking events, where do you get them from? And I just went straight to social. And I was so lucky that you're so good at your social that I found you on LinkedIn. And just made that connection because the leads that I have got from the social content that I've done, and like 4 or 5 people of those were in the room last night that you actually got to meet, which is amazing.
That was crazy.
Have come to me from LinkedIn and from the videos I initially did, and from putting myself out of my comfort zone to do those videos because that was horrendous as well. I love you, but that was horrendous too.
I know what you're saying. Oh, but you weren't horrendous. Everyone's always going to feel like they're burning in front of the camera. But my gosh, you absolutely smashed it. And when I was in the room last night, it was total coincidence, but beautiful coincidence. I just went up to just speak to a couple of your guests and I was like, oh, so how do you know Zoe? And the first person I asked that, they were like, oh, I saw her on LinkedIn. I was like, yes, I did the biggest yes. And they were like, are you from LinkedIn or something? I was like, no, but I've helped Zoe with her marketing. And the fact that I see real people that it just makes me like really, it gives me goosebumps, like thinking, honestly, it's just so surreal that I get to meet the knock-on effect, that domino that I would never perhaps see because I was brave enough to put myself out there, which, like you said, made you find me. Because if I'd not been brave enough to put myself out there, you wouldn't have found me. You would have found someone else, but your life would not have been the same.
No,
and then you found me. But then because you were brave to put yourself out there, I got to see that knock-on effect and that client in the room. And I was like, wow. So you saw her on LinkedIn. She's now doing your portfolio. And now you've supported her at the event. And it's just beautiful how it all comes together.
So that particular client, and he won't mind me sharing, he's got over £5 million in property in the UK with a business partner. He then referred me on to his brother who has a £10 million portfolio in the market, all buy-to-let, all looking at bridging and retaining assets in their portfolio. And he has referred me to so many people across the UK, not just based in London, up north, Dubai nationals that are coming in and inward investment, all of those sorts of things. And that's huge. Like to get that, I could just live off that one lead. Like with the
that's
amount of
mental.
35 properties in the UK, and they are building every single month. And I think that client as well, just going back to the event last night, he has got all of his setups. He's got his, for the brokers that want to get into buy to let, he's got his limited company setups. He's got all of his houses set up. But after the keynote speaker last night with Roger, who spoke about like the evolution of buy to let and how you are setting up your business for tax efficiencies, he's like, Zoe, everything's wrong. Everything's wrong. I need to change it. I need to make sure my kids are looked after. I need to change things for IHT planning. When can I get in the room with Roger and the tax advisor and you, and let's like rehash this so that I'm safe? And I was like, wow, like, okay, so you've got from LinkedIn, you're a referral. I've done loads of business with you, and now I'm getting to that stage where I'm just not just a broker, which is, I think in every role that you do, you don't want to just be your job title. I want to be everything. I want to be able to assist him with surveying. I want to be able to assist him with conveyancing. I want to be able to assist him with helping his kids in the future with IHT. And that all-encompassing kind of holistic job title is where I see value, where I see my value in other people's lives, not just about getting their mortgage. And that's huge.
That is epic, because I find it hard to describe myself and what I do as well. Like, I'm not a social media manager. I'm just not. But I do people's social media, then I might help them with their event. Then I've helped another client become an author. I've helped clients become public speakers and get themselves on stage. I've helped clients get sponsorship. Like, there is no, you become a connector, you become a like key person of influence, and that's exactly what I help people build. So to see you absolutely shine is just so heartwarming. I really am so proud of you and how you've stepped outside your comfort zone, because it was daunting. Because you even had, and I'm going to raise, we don't have to mention names, but you even had like some lenders or some people be like, Zoe, why are you spending all this money on like marketing yourself and videos? Like, are you sure it's going to work? Are you going to get your return on investment? What would you say to that now?
Oh, well, it's tough when people sow seeds of doubt in you, right? And like, we are like social people, we're social butterflies in this industry. And like, when someone does sow a seed of doubt, it really does like resonate sometimes, especially when you're new into this. Like, and for those people who've had that, just ignore it, because take a day, take a week, take whatever you need to process the fact that there has been that seed of doubt, and then just crack on with it anyway, because you're always going to be the best version of yourself doing the things that you love. And if your decision to do a certain thing is because you love it, then you've just got to do it. It's really difficult. And I say that like it's the easiest thing in the world. It took me 6 months to do that event last night. So it's not the easiest thing in the world. But
no.
The people that doubted me have looked to sponsor the next event, have said, wow, your social media is amazing, have said, there's a lot of people that do social media in ways that people potentially don't like, but the social media that we've put out and that you curated is what my market like. And that's who's been contacting me, which was the biggest shock to me, was that, okay, if I'm going to put all this social media out, I'm just going to get like random, that's typical. That's my alarm to feed my puppy, which is hilarious. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, sorry.
Don't worry about that. I've had like the postman come in. No, we can keep rolling. No, I like these shows. From anyone who knows me, I like to keep it rolling. I don't want to over edit or over curate it. I want it to feel natural. So it's so nice to hear that your puppy needs feeding any minute now. So I'm going to have to let you go soon. But you were saying about how those naysayers before, even though they thought they meant well, because I know they weren't nasty people, but they said it to your face like, oh, do you think this is going to work? Do you think this is going to be worthwhile? And now they're like, you've proven us wrong, and you took yourself seriously. This is happened to me too. Like, the more you shine, the more you believe in yourself, the more others will then be proven wrong, but in a good way, that then they'll be like, do you know what? Fair play, mate. Like, we actually want to be a part of this. And yes, there's always going to be naysayers. So you might as well do what makes you shine. You might as well do what makes you happy, because if you play it, and I literally just did a video about this on TikTok. if you play, well, I've got no fans on there, but anyway, I'll just put it out there anyway. But just in case you're on TikTok.
Us and our small followers as well.
Thank you. Yeah, for my 4 fans out there, let me just let you know that there's a video out there that's like, if you play it safe, you're going to have negative and positive people. So you might as well play it big and go large, because you're going to have positive and negative people anyway. So you might as well do it whilst you're doing what you love and whilst you're doing what makes you feel like you're winning big time, because otherwise you're going to be playing small and still get the negativity. So play it big, go large, and enjoy what you're doing, because you can't control what other people feel about you. There's always going to be someone that says, oh, I don't really like those posts. Okay, well, scroll past, bye, like move on. There's billions of creators on social media. You don't have to watch me.
But I will say, like, where I was going with that was that I obviously came to you as a professional. The biggest shock to me was that the exact person that I wanted to become a client became a client. And that was the biggest shock to me from social media. I was like, this is incredible. Like, we've created these videos. And to be honest, I even thought, okay, yeah, they are tiered towards this level, but am I still going to get that client? And I did. So I think there's so much benefit in meeting professionals in their industry, like taking all of that knowledge that you give and accepting when you have no idea what you're doing, because that vulnerability is only going to make you learn more, want more, achieve more if you go out and meet other people that know it better than you. And there's so many people in this industry that do, because it's been around for ages. So I just think, especially if you are starting out as a new mortgage broker, use that network. Don't be shy to ask stupid questions. Don't be shy to come to you and say, I'm crap at social media. Like, how do I even start in this maze of a world that we haven't been used to growing up? So how do I do it? Like you say with TikTok, I haven't even got TikTok, but I'm sure I probably need it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those
You've
things.
got to start somewhere. Like with you, we concentrated mostly on LinkedIn and Instagram, because we felt like that's where your most warm audience was going to be, and also where your ideal target customer was. It wasn't just about videos. It was about designing a campaign that matched your goals and also matched your target audience, matched like the vision for your business. So that's why it shocked you when you were actually getting the results. It wasn't by accident. We designed it that way. So as in you and I, you know, we had regular meetings, we brainstormed, we met up, we then went back and forth, and you probably went to bed at night thinking, is she for real? Then you woke, like, oh my God, this is crazy. Then you woke up one day and you were like, Roz, I get it. Wow, light bulb moment. So you just went through the motions and you absolutely embraced it. And now look at you. So to wrap this up then, what would be your kind of final message to brokers listening to this thinking, okay, Zoe, you have transformed, but it feels like, because people are looking at you now at the top of a mountain and they feel like they're still at the bottom, so they don't know how you took the steps up there. So kind of bring yourself back down the mountain, if you like, come and meet the broker where they're at. What would be that first step and then the second step? Like just a whistle-stop tour of like, don't think up here, think little baby steps. What would those be in like a bullet format?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things I learned on this journey was to embrace who you are, be authentic. Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to like what you do. Not everyone's going to like the fact that you busy yourself with going out and meeting people and doing events. And whether that's through wanting to be that person or not, it doesn't matter. And I think we did a lot of work on working out actually who my authentic self was. And that really helps. And I think you've just got to embrace that. Embrace the fact that you are who you are. Learn the way that you like to learn. Network the way that you like to network, and understand what that is, and just give yourself time to understand how that works, because it's not all going to happen overnight. I am the worst person for that. I want everything 2 weeks ago and have always been that way. I think that's just my semi-ADHD brain that's like, let's go. But just find yourself a mentor, understand who your professionals are in your circle, keep your circle small, and just work out where those people can help you, and then branch out into the wider network. When you've got so much knowledge to want to take and so much knowledge to want to give, just embrace everyone else's experiences and knowledge and listen. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, listen. There are so many people that said to me, I can't believe you remember my child's name. Things like that. Just listen to what people have to say, and I think you'll always build those great connections and those great relationships to move forward.
That is the best thing you could have ever said, because you just don't know what journey people are going to talk about. You know, what you don't know what journey people are on. So if you start out with yourself, if you start out being true to yourself, then you can't go wrong, because everyone's journey is different. So embrace your own, and you just take one step at a time, keep learning and keep growing. That's literally the best advice anyone could ever give you. And thank you for being a money honey today, Zoe. If anyone wants to know more about obviously buy-to-lets, investments, and you're not a broker but you're an investor or developer, please do speak to Zoe and reach out to her. If you haven't already got anyone supporting you, or you would like to even be in the room at the Property Syndicate, you don't have to be a client for Zoe or a client of Zoe's to actually have, you know, a place in the room, because you can network, you can meet people, you can make partnerships, you can make friends. So please do check out the Property Syndicate, because I know there will be more. We're not stopping at one, Zoe. And then finally, if you have enjoyed the show, please give it a thumbs up, share it with people that you think might help. You know, maybe you run a brokerage and you've got newbies joining and you want them to get some inspiration. Maybe you're a lender and you want to share it with some brokers that you're kind of supporting at the moment that are starting out. Maybe you want to show them an example of another broker who has built a phenomenal brand. But yeah, the power is in the sharing, because our mantra at the Money Honey is positive pollination, which is paying it forward, you know, positively impacting that next person. So Zoe's positively doing that and positively impacting by taking up her time to be here on the show today to help you listeners. But you don't have to be on the show to make this a big success or for yourself. Like, you can take part in positive pollination just by sharing, subscribing, liking, or, you know, distributing the show to someone that you think it might help. So never underestimate that power of sharing with somebody something helpful. And we hope we have delivered that for you here today. So once more, thank you, Zoe, for being on the show. You've been a sensational money honey. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.